Sherman can give you a very nice edge.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Man Cave Models. Hope you all had a good week. I've had a busy one, as you can see. Yes, went from looking nice and new to a little bit tattier. So, yeah, it's been a good week. I hope you've all been good and you've all been building. This week we're going to cover the decals, some of the problems with the decals, or maybe it was the solution. The decal solve, or Michael set and Michael sew, playing up with the paint. I'm not sure. I haven't had it happen before, and I haven't used these I Love Kit decals, so I don't know. It could be the glue from the decals, and it may not be, but there is a solution to it that we get over. So yeah, so basically this is how we're going to get to look like nice and new, like you saw in the last video, to nice and old so far on this video. Yeah, I've enjoyed myself so far. It's just a big kit to work on, isn't it? And at the end of the day, it's you get plenty of complaints. This hasn't got that, and got this, but it's looking like a nice kit. So we shall see. Let's get on with it. Guys, like and subscribe. Lets me know you're enjoying the channel and the videos. Also posts, it lets you know when my next posts are out. And I've also now got to start thinking of the next project when we finish this. For decisions. I've got so much to choose from. It's crazy, really. I'm not sure if I want to do another Sherman straight away. I have got a couple German vehicles. I've got a Tamiya Tiger tank that needs to be done, but I have got on the way is the 1/6 scale, and it's probably a bit I moan about the size of the bench, but the SES Jeep, and that might be a really nice build. So I'm oohing and ahhing. Anyway, I shall get on and get the rest of the video going for you. So I'm going to go on along with this one, Detroit Iron. I was kind of hoping it had the star on the top, but it doesn't. But anyhow, so we're going to do that pattern. I'm going to move this out the way. Don't need the whole kit there to start. Break it down into a few little bits. So if we start with the turret first, we're going to nice brush. Alright, so guys, I use micro set and micro sew, these two. I've got them on the things that, so right. Sorry, I always seem to get confused with the sewings. So this one is just a star on the turret, so we're going to start with that one, and we see he sits about here. So we've got the star. One star. Stick them into water. Now I tend to put it in and flip it over, let the water get to it. Bit of tissue as well, guys. So I might be telling some of you how to suck eggs on this, but there's some people who haven't done this. Oh, I've only done it a couple of times. That's that one. Take our deck away. that soak a minute. So put a bit of the micro set on. This will help it stick, but also helps it suck into the detail. So because of the cast, you want these to suck in. You don't want like air bubbles. And I have give this plenty of drying time. So why is it always find a hair? I didn't see that until I put that stuff on. Yeah, get rid of that. I think, no. That's it. I got it. Yeah, I got it. So I just wait till it starts moving slightly, which it is. Now, according to that picture of the too bad, that he sort of sits like that. About there. Easy. Now this will discolour. You can see the discoloration. That doesn't stay like that. That does go. So this is the first time, by the way, that I'm using I Love Kit's decals. This is actually the first kit of theirs that I've built. So we'll see how they go. So we'll just get some of the air bubbles out of it. And then see, I've done my usual, where I'm now digging around for a brush to put the other one on because I don't want to mix the two. And to be honest, you should really if you use this stuff, just keep the two brushes that you use separate from all your other brushes. I've said this a million times to myself, and a million times I don't take any notice. I'm like, oh, what brushes? So you can see the discoloration there, but that will go. So that's one. We'll leave him to go. So let's start by. Well, it seems I've got the stars out. Let's do those first then. I'll just get on and do this because you don't really need me gabbering too much while doing this kind of stuff. And that means I can break this down into a few sections then. So we're going to give the big decal on the top here a go. So bear with me a minute. Well, we've had a little bit of drying time, but been drying overnight. So, yeah, excuse the figure. I was messing around. Look, if I can do it right and tip him out. That's one of the figures off my M8 Greyhound. There he goes. Look. I don't know if I can get a He's got to come out anyway, but just iron him up in place. There it goes. He might go in there, he might not, I don't know yet. But I think I've got another one of those figures somewhere, so I might use that one. Yeah, so they've had plenty of time to dry. We had a bit of a weird issue. I've not had this before with it. Was that? You see that? That frosting. But if you do get this, it could be the fact that I've gone over this with Mr. Surfacer first. This is the first time I've had this happen, so I don't know. But if you go back over it with a bit of gloss, it goes again. So that was like that all around, and I've just gone over the toplet. So I'll do that around. I don't want to go over the decals yet because I want to duff them up a little bit when I'll start the chipping, because that will be on the very next thing. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour a little bit of my varnish, shoot me now please. I know I've got to give this a second coat, but it's in places I need to chip. I don't want to chip over the frosting. I want to chip it when it's all the same colour. Just not that I think it will go funny, but I don't know. So I'll take it, if I can take it out of the equation just by putting a bit of this on and leaving it, then I will. So all I did was basically just rub it in, just go down to the edge of your decal. You get sometimes you get a matte varnish and you put matte varnish on, you get this. So it may have made it might be the it's just got a bit matter around where the decals have gone, and I thought maybe it was a texture. But if I look on the back where it's done it as well, here it's done the same thing there. It's not done it everywhere though. It's only like couple places really that it's done it, so a bit baffling, but see if you can watch it, it just disappears. So lucky escape, but nice to know if you do get that sort of problem that you can get over it. So you can just see it there as well. Look, I don't know if going over that with anything we're actually doing, because it's actually under the decal, but got rid of the worst of it. And there's a bit on this side as well. But yeah, it's some places it's done it, you can see it. Some places it's done it, some places it hasn't. You see it here, look. And I've thoroughly cleaned it all off as well, which is a bit baffling, but like I say, it's the first time I've ever had it done. I don't know, it could be the I wouldn't want to say it is, but it could be the adhesive that comes off your decal, possibly. Yeah. But either way, the decals have gone down pretty good. You can see, I don't know if you can see there, look, it's gone down there and there, and you can see it's sucked itself down to the texture of the hoe as well, look. So I think, yeah, nothing on the front here either. It's really odd, but it's got it there, but it's up underneath. I don't know. I'm not too worried. At the end of the day, like I say, we're going to that's going to be dirtied up and stuff anyway, so we'll get over it that way. Well, that's it for the decaling. Next, we'll get on with the chipping before the second coat of varnish. So that will be, like I said, we'll start off with a dark chipping colour, which I actually have the chipping colour. It's leather. Don't want leather, and we don't want matte black. These are the new Atom paints that I've thought I might give them a go. Rust, old rust, lights. Oh god, I would give it a go. There you go, little chip in. So that's the new Ammo MIG Atom colours. So that is the chipping. So we will be getting on with that. So we'll start with that, and then we won't start with that. I'm telling you lies again. So the lightest tone we use on this tank, we're going to start with that, but a little bit lighter, and then we'll go to that. But I'll get that all ready to go, and then we'll get on. So we've got our paints mixed up. So it is the base colour that we use, and I just added a little bit more of the desert sand to it to give it a bit of a little bit lighter. Sorry, looking for the word I wanted then. Let's see if we can get in a little bit closer for you. There you go. So we're going to start off with the green. And all we're going to do is, I've got a sponge and I shove it in an old brush handle. So all we're going to do is put some on there, in your sponge, then on a bit of paper towel, just dab it off so it's not like great big thick blotches. We're just going to go over like high areas, and you see it's really light. Bit too much on there. Don't panic too much, because this is only more of a base coat than it is. We'll be going back over it with the chipping colour. So this is just more to sort of get it going. So you won't see half of this when it's chipped. And just go around all the edges that we think need doing. So if I'm going to take this 50 cal off, move the tank itself for a minute. Not 50 cal, so commander's hatch, more like what I'm looking for. So where are we? We're here. There we go. Let's screw it in a little bit. So we are looking at just getting edges and on where you'd get more wear. So that on here you'd get a lot of wear where they're going in and out. And yeah, like you say, if you get a bit more on there, don't panic too much, because this is sort of, it just creates a roadmap really for your chipping. And we know, like this area here in particular, would get loads where they, like I say, where they're coming in and out the hatch all the time. It would, the paint on there wouldn't last too long, I shouldn't have thought. So it looks like a lot in places, but it won't be when it's when it's all sort of dry and ready. I did stick a bit of retarder in this, just to sort of help it so it doesn't go off so quick. In fact, it's a bit warmer. Trying to find a decent sponge is hard work sometimes. So around the edges like there, you get a lot of wear. Handles. Sounds like that old Two Ronnies joke, doesn't it? All candles. And you can come back in if you want with a brush, and do some of this with a brush as well. So as you can see, it's I didn't realise it's not doing it. So yeah, just going around edges and stuff at the moment. I'll come out a little bit because might be better. Yeah. Suffering from a bit of hay fever today, I think. So it's the same with this one, especially around. Especially old ammo boxes got beat up a fair bit, didn't they? I'm doing it again. Sorry, guys. It's because my camera's in a really weird position for some reason. I think I probably knocked it. That's better. Back there. That's it. Sorry about that. Yeah, you can go back over like places with a brush and stuff like that as well, just to sort of pick out like around edges like that, because sometimes you'll get chip in here, but obviously you won't get it in the same place on the box. Got a fair bit up on there because the belt goes up and down that bit a bit. Not that you might not see it. Top surfaces more than anything, especially around there like that. Now how far you go with this is up to you really. I'm going to do the underside, you might not see it, but like I say, don't be afraid to get a big area like that. It's strange because we're working in different scales. Obviously, if I did that on some like 1/35 scale, it'd be like, no, I've ruined my model. But you need a bigger area. So we're just going to keep doing that all over. So we'll just pick areas where we think there's more wear. So you know, where you'd get around here and tops of edges, especially around on these areas. It's all right. Sorry about that. The memory card on my camera was full. It didn't normally do that, so we missed a little bit. But I'll go back and show you a bit anyway. So yeah, so we're just going to start going around the hole all over the place. Get as much done as we can with this colour. So yeah, like I say, you know, don't panic about it. I'm going to be quiet and just carry on from it. That's our first coat of the green put on. Next we'll go over the top with some chipping. So we've got a bit of a roadmap with what we've got, and although it looks like, my God, what have I done, sort of thing. Once you start adding the chipping, the dark, the rusty brown chipping, it will all start making a bit more sense. And obviously in some places we won't go over some bits because you don't want to go through every single bit. But yeah, once you start putting on the other bit, it'll start making a bit more sense then, and you'll see how it's going. So we'll get some of that out and get going. I've moved the tank off the bench a minute, so we can look at this chipping. So this is a pre-mixed colour. The only downside is like as everything else, you need a palette to put it in, or something to put it in. So I'm going to pour a little bit in here. Like you see, it's not a lot. I'll stick a little bit of retarder in that if I can. This stuff's quite thick. You don't need a lot either. Grab a nice brush. Now, basically we'll use what we've got for our as our map for chipping this lot up, but I'm just going to go across some of these edges because you don't always get with the sponge in places you need to go, and down here it would be quite chipped across here, up through here and down through here, but so we're just using our chips that we put in, and as a sort of our little way of finding where we want to be with it all. Like bigger areas, just fill them in, but yeah, try not to do too many straight lines or follow the same sort of patterns. Not too bothered there because you're not really going to see this, and you'll find that now that looks quite brown. You see it? But when that dries back, that will dry back a bit darker. When I kind of open it, it's the first time I've used this one. I normally mix up my own, which is Ho Red. If you want to try it, is Ho Red and Matte Black. You can get away with Rubber Black as well, because it's got a little bit more tone, gives it a little bit of tone, but so guys, I think in around here, I think that's white around there, so I'm going to do it, I'll paint that white and then do the chipping in around there. So we've done our periscope, we'll move on to the hole, but as you can see it's a little bit more localized than what we were doing with just big areas. We sort of just filling in a little bit. So there's our what it looks like at the moment. The light's not great, but this will, like I say, hopefully it's a little bit lighter than what I would normally use, but we'll carry on. I can always add a bit more darker to it if I need to. So just move the tank over. You soon run out of room on the bench. Start off with bigger areas first. So we've gone around with our second round of chipping, the darker colour. Quite a few places. The girl's going to look a bit duffed up when she's done, but now this the Ammo Mix new chipping fluid is definitely lighter than the other one, so I might go around in a couple places up around here, especially around hatches, with the darker, a little bit darker, so when we put the steel on then it will look make the back look guys. By the time we've done a few washes on this, with like a couple of little rusty tones and stuff like that as well, it will all blend itself in. So that's our duffing up of the M4 tonight. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, like I say, please like and subscribe. Wrong button up. And until next week, we'll get a gloss coat on this and then start on washes. I'll do a gloss coat off camera anyway, and then that'll leave that drying for quite a while then. But like I say, anyway, till next week guys, keep modelling. If you're building along, get on. But till then, bye.